I became involved with My5th.org when the Genarlow Wilson case gained national attention.
It was a march for justice for a black man supporters believe is getting a raw deal.
Genarlow was a 17-year-old African-American male, a very good student and athlete, and one night he had consensual oral sex with a 15-year-old girl. Because Georgia consent laws said that you had to be 16 years of age to do such, he was ultimately sentenced to 10 years in prison with no chance of parole beforehand. And so that really got me riled up and interested in the ways in which young African-American men and other people are caught up in the criminal justice system, partly because they don't know and partly because the system doesn't work fully for us. And so I wanted to find a way to intervene in that conversation and make some kind of social change. I began to cover the various changes in the case on my website, and at one point B.J. Bernstein just reached out to me and said, hey, you seem to be really committed to this. I'm Genarlow's attorney. Let's find some ways to connect.
My5th.org is a nonprofit devoted to teaching young people 21 and under what laws apply to them, whether they're criminal or civil. And it was inspired by my client Genarlow Wilson. Made me realize that if you're going to have the law used against you, you should know what it is. That coupled with getting your information from somewhere other than what you see happen to celebrities.
So the Fifth Amendment is one of the most important rights that people invoke in court, to, where one has the right not to incriminate oneself, provide information that would act against their own best interest. Now, too often, young people will often say things that act against their own interest because they don't realize that they don't have to do so. Law enforcement coerce people into saying and doing things that act against their own best interest. And many times people are scared, they're nervous, and they say things that either aren't true or that maybe are true but aren't in their best interest. And so part of what My5th.org is about is giving people political education, economic education, but most importantly legal education so that they can make better decisions about how they interact with law enforcement. The site is so hot to people because we try to reach out to the hip-hop generation in a sincere and meaningful way. The other thing that I think is so attractive about the website is that B.J. Bernstein offers blogs on a regular basis. So she talks about issues that are in the news, whether it's Paris Hilton or Michael Vick or whatever it is, whoever's hot in the news and is connected to the legal system, she's talking about it.
Everybody knows that there are real legal issues that affect you, whether you're 13, 18, or 21, and yet you don't have an easy way of accessing that information. On the website, you can click, if you're an attorney, click to volunteer, because we want attorneys to volunteer to go out into the schools. And then if you want to get in touch with us, just email us at bjbernstein@my5th.org or info@my5th.org, and we'll get back at you and see if we can help hook you up with a lawyer in your area to come into your school or to your college campus.
We're not just interested in people who are professionals. We're not just interested in people who are in law enforcement. We also want people who have been inside the system. We want people who have come out of prisons, people who have dealt with the legal system. We want people who have experience to share it with the world. There's no sense in reinventing the wheel. We don't want you to learn from your own mistakes if you can learn from someone else's.